Palin in time tomorrow. A little shout out by someone.
I think that all of the voices that we get on the stage right now, the better. I hope we have some more. The message is clear. People want this response. They want a different kind of death. We're saying it. Life is going to be happening.
You're looking forward to saying that first media life versus you and him.
People said that that's what I did from that. He was somebody that I had a lot of admiration for. In fact, what I say about her in my books, I believe for him, for everybody exactly what it is, and it's that I have a great admiration for her. She's a rock star in our party. And I hope her voice can be important and loud for her.
You really like you would say people, some people doesn't hold
you know, I want to have the midterms. We need to get some people like said, change stuff well now to the governor's office around the country, and that's really my focus right now until the midterms are over. It was very significant, and one of the big reasons basically was that he didn't want the Republicans to vote those races. And Bush was saying Barack Obama over the last time. The fact that in less than a year, he's seen that sort of fear of, because people are not electing him to be big government, huge stifling deficit, everything they're able to the health care system. That's continue to push this up down the throats of American people, cost them even more jobs, and then play on issues of foreign policy security. Next year is going to be one great year for like about the military you mentioned, but I think we're prepared to deal with you from debacle years ago. Was it debacle years? But first thing, if everyone, I think everything is great. We'll talk most Americans. The GOP has to do is to stick to the principles they all set in elections. Truly and conviction conservative when they run and they govern. They act like they know what they're about. So if we voting and recklessly stand, we lose. If we actually go in and show that we genuinely believe that we can kick down our children and cause we responsibility. We also have to be our pro-life actions. You know, Republicans are elected and they're afraid to talk about sanctity of life. Sacredness of the dynamic, it reserves the rest. Sometimes you see Republicans don't talk about issues. Okay, fine. Figure out a recipe to lose. Because Americans are waiting for those who believe who can articulate. Tragic murder of 14 people. And these were 14 because there were 13 people who was on their job. So 14 human souls who lost their lives by the massacre. And there were clear signs that some